don't know, and I'm going to take the fine. Because the refs did not give us no calls tonight. We had to play through every bump, every grab. I don't know how we won tonight.
There's contact. Was it marginal or was it illegal?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Marginal Contact Podcast proudly brings to you its football preview championship of the world with your host, Buff Brando. Sorry for the delay. Sorry for the time off. Let's just admit there wasn't a lot of talk about this summer. Didn't want to go into the Olympics because that probably would have got me canceled. Don't want to have a whole episode about baseball when you live in a city with a team as pathetic as the Minnesota Twins. Topic for another day. But today, Thursday, September 5th, we are recording this about 3 hours outside of the opening night of NFL. Chiefs, Ravens, kickoff night. What better way to bring the show back than with the smartest guy who's ever held a microphone to talk about his NFL predictions? If you're listening on Spotify, if you're listening on Buzzsprout, if you're listening on Apple, appreciate that, but you can't see what is on my shoulder if you're watching on YouTube, and that is my Green Bay Packers championship belt. Because I'm not a homer. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit of a homer, but that's where I see this season going. We'll get into that later. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go division by division. I'm going to give you previews. I'm going to give you predictions. I'm going to give you hot takes. But are they hot takes when I'm usually always right? I don't think so. I do not think so. So after a long off season, a lot of drama between the Super Bowl and today, between the draft, between the free agency, between contract holdouts, between, new teams, this and that, we finally arrived at opening night. So, in honor, I don't like to say this, but for my cousin Kristen, she is the biggest Chiefs fan on the planet. I will give her that. And they are the two-time defending Super Bowl champs. We're going to start in the AFC West. So it's kind of hard to bet against the team that's won 2 straight Super Bowls, that has Patrick Mahomes, that has Travis Kelce. They got Hollywood Brown in the offseason. Juju Smith-Schuster came back. As long as you don't let Rice drive a car, he's pretty good. They got Isaiah Pacheco. They got an up-and-coming defense that it's hard to bet against them three-peating this division. So here's my AFC West predictions from bottom to top. Broncos, obviously 4th place. You know what? Addition by subtraction. You got rid of Russell Wilson. You drafted Bo Nix, who supposedly has looked great in the preseason, yet it's the preseason, so who really knows? I am not sold. He played a lot of years in college. If he was that good, he probably would have came out a year or 2 ago. But like I said, addition by subtraction, there's no Russell Wilson. Your backup situation, though, Jarrett Stidham and Zach Wilson, you better hope Bo Nix is good or stays healthy. Because if he goes down or if he's not what you think, you're done. Already in a tough division, you're probably done full strength. But if he goes down, you're done. 3rd place, but not in a bad way. I think a good 3rd place. I just think the division's that good. I'm going the Las Vegas Raiders. I love that Antonio Pierce got that full-time coaching job. I really, you know what? In a weird way, I like that Gardner Minshew is the quarterback. That's a huge upgrade over what they had last year. You got rid of the Garoppolo problem. You got rid of everything else from there. Antonio Pierce had that team motivated last year when he was the interim coach. They had the best defense in the NFL. I think they gave up 16.8 points per game once he took over. And he's the type of guy who played, recently enough where people relate to him who are still playing in the league and are going to rally around him. Secondly, The Chargers, I'm calling it right now. The Chargers are making the playoffs. Jim Harbaugh, whatever you think of him personally, can turn around a team overnight. Look what he did at San Diego State. Look what he did at Stanford. Look what he did at the 49ers. Look what he did at Michigan. So the proof is in the pudding. I'm not putting anything past him. I think Justin Herbert is going to have an amazing year with him as his head coach. And am I saying they're going to win the division? No. Am I saying they have a chance to win the division? Yes. But that brings me to the top of the top, the cream of the crop. The Kansas City Chiefs. So, 2-time Super Bowl champs, best quarterback in the league, best tight end in the league, best coach in the league, best fan in the league. You're welcome, Kristen. I told you I was going to throw out your name on a shout-out on Marginal Contact. Yeah, you're a sponsor now. Until someone beats them, I'm just not betting against them. For sure, not even in the division. We're not talking playoffs yet. We'll get there. But division-wise, not a chance. That defense is going to be better. The offense is going to be better. And they still won the Super Bowl last year. As long as I don't have to see Taylor Swift after every pass that Kelsey catches, and I don't have to see Andy Reid and Mahomes in every State Farm commercial, we both know the last two things I said are probably going to happen. But regardless, the Chiefs are winning the AFC West. Book it, baby. That's not a fact. No, that is a fact. It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler. Sorry, I'll fix that. It's the first time I've used the catchphrase in a long time, so sorry for screwing the first one up. From the West to the North, maybe the hardest prediction in the AFC to predict. Ravens, bringing back everybody and adding Derrick Henry. Wow, that could be scary. Steelers, the laughingstock of the league, in my opinion, from day one. You signed the biggest phony clown who I've made fun of for the last 5 years, have been right about everything I said, and you think he's going to have a career renaissance in your city? No. Russell Wilson, absolutely not. Give it until early October, and Justin Fields will be the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Cleveland Browns, all depends kind of on what Deshaun Watson decides he wants to be. Does he want to be the guy he was in Houston, or does he want to be the worthless loser he's been since he got the guaranteed contract, doesn't care, and just sits in massage parlors? And then there's the Cincinnati Bengals. If Joe Burrow is healthy, these guys are a dark horse to win this division. I know everyone and their mom is picking Baltimore, and I get it. I get why. But health aside, if everyone is fully healthy, between Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and another year of that staff, you know what? I'm just going to go out and say it. I think the Bengals win the AFC North. I think the Ravens are a wild card. I think the Browns are third, have a chance at the last spot. And I think the Steelers, for the first time in Mike Tomlin's career, have a losing record because of one Mr. Russell Clown Boy Midget Wilson. Yeah! AFC South, shall we? Here is my hot take that some people are going to think is scorching hot. I don't think it's that hot. I think the team in the NFL that takes the biggest step back this year is the Houston Texans. Not because I don't think C.J. Stroud isn't really good. I do. But no one's going to take them lightly this year. Last year, they were an afterthought when he got drafted. They were the second pick in the draft. They were the bottom feeders of the worst division of football. They came out of nowhere. DeMeco Ryans proved he's an amazing coach and deserves all the accolades he can be. C.J. Stroud, you proved that you are the 1 in 1,000 guys that can start on day one and not be affected by it. But now this year, you're playing a first-place schedule. No one's going to take you lightly. You traded for the biggest cancer in the NFL named Stephon Diggs. And I'm sorry, I just think the expectations are going to be too much too quick for you guys to repeat what you did last year. So in the AFC South, I have the Jaguars. I have Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson bouncing back to win that division. Until last year, before Trevor Lawrence got his foot stepped on that Monday night game, they were 8-3 and were rolling to a first place finish in the division and possibly a deep playoff run. But Trevor Lawrence had to play the last 6 weeks of that season on one foot, and they kind of fell apart. Partly due to his injury, partly due to maybe some other stuff. But you know what? Bounce back year for the Jaguars. So, I didn't even mention the Titans because that's a full-on rebuild. I like Will Levis. I like DeAndre Hopkins. I like Tony Pollard, but you ain't competing. The Colts, Anthony Richardson's kind of a dark horse. If he can stay healthy, I feel like he could do a lot of things that could upset a team here and there, make things interesting here and there. But as far as making the playoffs, nah, that ain't happening. Nope. So I'm going Jaguars, Texans, Colts, Titans in the AFC South. Let's move over to the single most interesting division in maybe all of football, certainly in the AFC, the AFC East. I don't know if you can tell if you're watching with this belt over my shoulder, but I might be slightly a Packer fan. And even though Aaron Rodgers is no longer on the team, I love that man. And the slander he got last year when he got hurt on the fourth play of the season because of some bullshit turf in MetLife Stadium and the absolute disgusting onslaught the media gave him after that. Well, let me tell you this, and I mean this as a compliment to my best friend, Aaron Rodgers. At least I think we'd be best friends. And like I said, I mean this as a compliment. There is not a pettier human in all of sports than my boy Aaron. So everything everybody said last year when he went down, that he's done, that the Jets are this, that the Jets are that he shouldn't have done this, that darkness retreat this, ayahuasca that. And then they even started bringing in political stuff because, let's be honest, ESPN, sadly, is still kind of like the go-to for sports, but they don't care about sports anymore. They're woke idiots. Aaron Rodgers is going to remember all of that. So as long as he is healthy, the Jets will be the best team in the AFC this year. I know it. Oh, did he just say what I think he said? Did he say best team in the AFC? You're damn right I did. If Aaron Rodgers plays every single game, the Jets will be 13-4. Mark that down. Again, that's not a prediction. Shout out to Paul Heyman. That's a spoiler. That's a fact. In second place, and it sucks that they're in the same division, in second place in the AFC East is my other, team that I think is going to surprise people, the Miami Dolphins. Did they make the playoffs last year? Yes, they did. Did they go in on the type of momentum they wanted to? Absolutely not. And Tua got his money this summer, rightfully so. Tyreek Hill's back, got an extension. Jalen Waddle's healthy. Mozart, A-Chain, better defense. I'm telling you, I think the Dolphins, they might not win the division, but they are going to be the first wild card team and a very scary opponent to anyone in the playoffs. Here's the team I think takes the biggest drop off, and that's my man, Trash Allen. Trash Allen, show your true colors. You are now in the full spotlight for your contract. The Buffalo Bills will have a losing record and finish in third place in the AFC East. I see so many clowns on TV that know nothing, that get paid millions of dollars to be on TV, when I could do your job better than you, than all of you who are picking the Bills to win the division. I even saw a few clowns pick them to be the 1 seed in the AFC. Who in Buffalo has naked pictures of you for blackmail? The Bills will suck. 7-10 tops. Josh Allen's true colors come out. He is Jay Cutler 2.0. He is the rocket arm that throws the worst timed interceptions. just smiles more than Jay Cutler, so he doesn't get criticized as much as Jay Cutler. The Bills are done. You had your chance. You blew it every fucking year. You're done. You are done. 7-10 Buffalo, third in your own division. You don't even sniff the playoffs. And then we come to the New England Patriots, which is, well, just unfortunate. First year, Gerard Mayo head coach. First year, Drake May. I'm assuming he starts sooner than later. Jacoby Brissett starting the opener. They are in the battle between a team I'm about to talk in the NFC East for the worst team in the league, I think. So at least the Bills, Dolphins, and Jets, in my opinion, all have 2 easy wins when they get to play the Patriots. And that's all I got to say about them. They're not worth my time. Anyone I know who's a Patriots fan who's listening to this, get ready for a very, very, very long year. So we have the Jets as my AFC East division winner. We have the Bengals as my AFC North division winner. We have the Jaguars as my AFC South. And we have the Chiefs as my AFC West. My AFC championship, Jets, Chiefs, and Aaron Rodgers puts all the haters and puts the Chiefs where they belong in the rear view mirror and gets the Jets to the Super Bowl as he does the belt celebration and flips off all these hating idiots who wrote him off way too soon, like they did a few years ago, and then he won 2 MVPs in a row. When will you learn you don't write off the best thrower of the football in NFL history? If Aaron Rodgers plays every single game, the Jets will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. That's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. Spoiler. Aaron, comeback player of the year, potentially MVP, with that defense, with Breece Hall, with Garrett Wilson, with a new revamped offensive line, the Jets are going to be unstoppable if Aaron Rodgers plays every game. Jets win the AFC. Boom. For the first time since Joe Namath. And this is pre-alcohol Joe Namath, or at least since the last time we saw him on TV. There's the AFC predictions. You're welcome. Shall we move to the NFC? You know what? Let's go the same route. We're going to start in the NFC West. 49ers are so loaded, so good. They got the contract situation with Brandon Ayuk taken care of. They got the offensive line figured out. They have everybody back. And let's just say I'm pretty sure they're not happy with how the last play of the Super Bowl ended. So I'm sorry. This is another one. Until you prove me wrong, I'm not going to bet against them in their own division, at least. In their own division, no way. The 49ers easily win the NFC West. Easily. The Seahawks, new era there. I don't know. Gino, you're okay. You've proved me wrong. You're a lot better than I thought you were going to be. But you're not on the Niners timeline. You're not on their, you're not a serious threat. The Cardinals, Marvin Harrison Jr., you're going to be a lot of fun to watch. I'm excited to see that. James Conner, if you're healthy. Kyler Murray, his first full season, back after the injury. We can speculate they might be interesting. But are they going to be a real threat? Absolutely not. And the Rams, I don't know. I think Sean McVay is a really good coach, but the rest of the team, I think Stafford had his 1 year in the sun there. I kind of think it's like basically a glorified, Legends tour with him at this point. He's not bad. But is he good enough to lead a team maybe as like the last wild card of the playoffs? Yeah. But is a serious threat anymore? Absolutely not. I just don't see it. I don't buy him. I don't see it. I think the 49ers can kind of cakewalk themselves back to the NFC West Championship and a potential top seed in the NFC. Because the NFC is wide open. Wide open. All right. Now we're going to my favorite division, the NFC North, which a year ago at this time, this exact time, 365 days a year ago, I would have said was probably, if not certainly, top to bottom, the weakest division in the league. This time, right now, they might be the deepest. And let's get into it. Let's start from the bottom and go to the top. And I don't even mean this as an insult. I really don't, because I think they have a lot of talent. I just think the division's that good. In fourth place, my current state of living, the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold, I don't think you've ever had a fair chance in your career. When you were on the Jets, you had nobody. When you were on the Panthers, you had nobody. You were the backup to the 49ers when they had Purdy. You're finally getting your chance with a real offense with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. You got my boy Aaron Jones, which breaks my heart. You got another season of Brian Flores' defense. I don't think the Vikings are going to be bad. I just think the division's that deep. So I got you finishing fourth. Here's my hot take, which I don't think is that hot of a take, but most people are going to think that it is a little scorching hot. In third place in the NFC North, the Detroit Lions. They were a one-year flash in the pan. God felt sorry for the city of Detroit for once. They almost had their chance, but their high school PE teacher coach, Dan Campbell, blew about, 18 different opportunities in the fourth quarter of the NFC Championship. And now you will go back to where you belong, mediocrity or below. Dan Campbell will come back to earth. Jared Goff will come back to earth. I think they had their chance. Is there talent on that roster? No doubt. They are deep. They are talented, very talented. But I almost feel like last year, the way that game ended is going to haunt them. And they, in any close game, I feel like they are going to get the yips and go back to that. I have them in third place in the NFC North. Third place. Can't believe I'm about to say this. The Bears are in second. The Bears are going to be in second place. Oh, my God. It makes me like nauseous just saying those words. The Bears are going to be in second place in the NFC North. Caleb Williams is the real deal. I'm trying to stay unbiased for all my listeners, for all my fans, for all the marginal contact lovers out there. I'm doing my best, so I'm being non-biased, and I'm telling you, the Bears are going to be good. Good. The Bears are going to make the playoffs as a wild card. Oh my God, I almost threw up in my mouth saying that. Caleb Williams, wow. DeAndre Swift at running back, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, the stud guy they got from Washington, Ndunze, Cole Kmet at tight end. Their defense played great the last 8 weeks of the season. I think they build on that. Their only weakness, and I think this even more after watching Hard Knocks, is their coach. I think Eberflus is not the guy. Not the guy. And especially when you have an offense with a guy like Caleb Williams and all those weapons, you don't have a defensive coach. You should have fired him in the offseason. You should have brought somebody else in. But too little, too late now. He's your coach at least for this year. And if my prediction is correct, which they usually are, he's going to be your coach next year too, because I think you make the playoffs as a wild card, the 6th or the 7th seed. I really do. And that brings me to the NFC North champs. Something clicked last year on Thanksgiving. Something clicked in Jordan Love. Something clicked in the Packers offense. Something clicked in continuity. Something clicked in chemistry. And something clicked that led them all the way to the NFC divisional round versus the 49ers. If it wasn't for some idiot kicker named Anders Carlson, who we cut, thank you God, he is not on the team anymore, we probably would have been in the NFC championship. Now we got Josh Jacobs. Now we got Xavier McKinney. We had 2 huge free agent signings. We have the best young core in the NFL. And the Packers are going to take that to the top of the NFC North. Bay. Again, that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. if Jordan Love continues to build on what he did. Thanksgiving on, he was the best quarterback in the NFL. And you can be like, oh, you're just a fan. No. No. 18 touchdowns, 1 interception. Go look at the stats. I'm not a homer. I am a fan, but I am a realist. And I tell the truth, and a lot of people don't like it, but I'm smarter than you, so deal with it. The Packers win the NFC North. Done. Let's go to the junior varsity division in the NFC South, where the big splash of the offseason obviously was with the Atlanta Falcons signing Kirk Cousins. The Vikings, to their credit, were smart enough not to give him $180 million, $100 million guaranteed. And backtracking a little bit, J.J. McCarthy, never wish injury on anybody, but him getting hurt is the best thing that could happen. He will be better for it watching for a year. Let Sam Darnold play, no pressure. They're still going to come in last, but it's going to be better for the Vikings in the long run. Anyway, Falcons get Kirk Cousins. Bucks re-sign Baker Mayfield. Saints still have Derek Carr and like a bunch of maybe they are has-beens, never was-beens. Then you have the Panthers, who Bryce Young is the worst number 1 draft pick probably in history since Jamarcus Russell. And your number 1 receiver is 35-year-old Adam Thielen. Cool. No one cares about this division because, honestly, the only one that is going to make the playoffs is who wins the division. Everyone else is irrelevant. So I still, I'm going the Panthers last, Saints third. I still, even with Kirk Cousins, think the Falcons finish second, the Bucks win, and then get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs because this division is god-awful, to say the least. So we have one left, the NFC East, which, shocker, tons of drama for a few reasons, a.k.a. the Cowboys lead the reasons why. They had 3 guys in this offseason who are all wanting new contracts. Micah Parsons, maybe the best defender in the NFL. CeeDee Lamb, one of the best receivers in the NFL. Dak Prescott, just an average quarterback who likes to pretend he's good. So Micah still doesn't have a contract. Dak still doesn't have a contract. Good for CeeDee Lamb. They paid the receiver. Well-deserved. Congratulations, CeeDee Lamb. But since these other 2 don't have contracts, I could see that turning into major drama coming into the season, especially if things don't start well. I mean, their first game is at Cleveland. That's no gimme. To me, Dak Prescott is basically the black Kirk Cousins who puts up big regular season numbers and then literally shits his pants in the playoffs every year. It's not really a hot take when I have as much backup research and proof as I do. So I actually give the Cowboys credits for not caving and signing him. Honestly, here's my year-long prediction for the NFC East. This time next year, when I'm recording Marginal Contact, getting ready for week 1 next year, I think Dak Prescott will be the starting quarterback of the New York Giants. Take that for what you will. That's just what I think. Anyway, the Eagles running it back with Sirianni, Jalen Hurts. I mean, they were 10-1 last year, finished 1-6, flamed out in the first game of the playoffs. The talent's there, no denying, but is losing Jason Kelce going to be a bigger thing leadership-wise than on the field-wise? That is something I'm curious to see. Does the tush-push still work without Kelce there? And Jaden Daniels for the Washington Commanders, I think, could be Rookie of the Year. I am that high on that kid. And I think perhaps if any team, I'm not saying anyone will, but if I had to pick a team that was going to have kind of like a Texans-type season, like worst to playoffs, right now my pick is the Commanders. I think they got a lot of under-the-radar guys, new coach in Dan Quinn, who knows the division very well after being the D coordinator for the Cowboys the last few years. I wouldn't write them off. The only guarantee in the NFC East, and this team's going to fight for the first pick with the Patriots, in my opinion, the Giants are going to absolutely suck. Daniel Jones, this is your last year as a starter. I feel bad for Malik Neighbors because you are a stud, but you got nothing to work with there, buddy. you're going to have to get your ass kicked this year. Hopefully they give you some weapons next year to, catch the ball from and, can only go up after this year. But it might be a rough rookie season for you and to no fault of your own. So here's my NFC East. Obviously, Giants last. I'm going Eagles. No. Oh, this is a tough one. Giants last. Cowboys third. Commanders second. Eagles first. And I think the Commanders get in as a wild card. So that would mean my NFC division winners. 49ers. Packers. Eagles. Buccaneers. And in the championship, I got Niners, Packers, with the Packers finally getting over that hump. Finally getting over the hump against the San Francisco 49ers. Something that's haunted me for most of my adult life. And, okay, I know what everyone's thinking. I picked the Packers and the Jets in the Super Bowl. You know what? I did, but not for the reasons you think. It's not because I love Aaron Rodgers, which I do. It's not because I love Jordan Love and the Packers, which I do. It's because the Packers are the best young, up-and-coming team in the league, and the Jets, if Rodgers is healthy, have the smartest quarterback in the league, with the best defense in the league, with Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, which might be the two best position players in the AFC, in the league. So you know what? You can call what it is. And I'm not making my winning prediction. I'll wait until I'm right for the Super Bowl for that. But my Super Bowl prediction, Packers versus Jets. A lot of you are going to be really, really upset when I'm right. And I'm talking to a specific few people who I consider really good friends, a couple even family members who are going to laugh at me, who are going to call me horrible names. But that's okay. I'll live with that. And when I'm right, you will kiss my ass. You know what? This feels really good to be back on the mic. And I promise you, to all the loyal listeners, fans, family, and growing community of Marginal Contact, I will never miss another week again. You have my word. This is only the start. Again, I apologize for getting lazy in the summer. Consistency is the key to make this grow, and I will be consistent with you from here on out. I swear on my life. So there is my NFL preview. I am recording this, like I said, a couple hours before Chiefs and Ravens kick us off on this season. I will start after this first weekend. Next week, I will start giving you gambling picks. And let me tell you this. As long as I'm not betting, as long as it's not my money, as long as I am completely deterred by emotion, I'm a 90% right better. So get your money out. I'm going to win all you listeners, loyal, loving fans, supporters, some money. So it's great to be back. This is only the beginning. This is the first episode. This is just for the football preview. Soon, starting next week, we'll have reactions to every game. The NBA is not far off. Baseball, we're in the last month. God forbid somehow the Twins are still in the playoff race. And good for you to all to know, I am planning on starting my own separate WWE-related show. So I don't have to put that in the Marginal Contact episode for those who aren't as big of a wrestling person as I am. But I will be starting my own side show on WWE coming up here very soon. So guest host will be back soon. This is the most exciting time of year. Football's back. Playoff push in baseball. Basketball is on the horizon. Love you all. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the patience. Marginal Contact Podcast, literally just getting started. We are back, and we are going to be better than ever. Love you all. I will talk to you next week. Peace.
Because the refs did not give us no calls tonight. We had to play through every bump, every grab. I don't know how we won tonight.
There's contact. Was it marginal or was it illegal?